You ready?
It's that time. Mm-hmm.
It is officially 11 p.m. Here we go. Welcome to the Zodiac Chatline. I am your host, Tanae, with my co-host here, Cassie. It is Sunday, January the 23rd, 2022, y'all. 23 days into the year. We are here for another show. Thank you for being here, for joining us, liking, doing all that fun shit. If you have any questions, please drop them in the chat. Coral is there, as always, hooking us up, looking for you guys. She throws the questions at us. She is there. Yo, the FBI would probably hire her. But anyways, that's another story. So what's going on this week in the stars?
You know, we have got tomorrow, Mars, a big boy of physical energy, moving out of Sag, where he's been getting weird, and moving into Capricorn, where he's going to feel controlled. And I'm excited about this because if you felt scattered, like your energy is all over the place, you're giving stuff over here, giving it over there for the past couple of months, you might start feeling a little bit more controlled and the ability to sort of exercise some discernment about where you're putting your energy. I think Capricorn lends that type of structure to Mars. So I'm feeling good about that. What do you think?
Taking like little step-by-steps, you know, looking for those long-term ambitions. And we discussed this earlier where Capricorn's kind of in a lot of energy right now. It's in Mercury, it's in Mars, and it's in Venus retrograde. So a lot of that slow down, take your time energy is still necessary. And I'm with you. We talked about this project and how we have, you know, really tried to work through it and take our time. And right now we are actually re-evaluating some things and seeing how things are making it, you know, better. And so I love Capricorn energy when it's necessary to just slow down and go, what are my long-term ambitions and what small steps am I going to take to get there?
Absolutely. So we've got that bad boy happening, and then Mercury, who's been retrograding in Aquarius, just spicing up your life in the form of fucked up email threads and all manner of other things, is moving into Capricorn as part of its retrograde transit. So not saying from personal experience, but let's just say for the past week or so during Mercury retrograde, all the technological systems at your work have been going bonkers. Well, expect more of that. Expect it around probably the government. I'm going to guess, quick prediction, crap gets messed up with people's IRS returns and W-2s and all the paperwork you're supposed to get from your job to work with the government. Like,
I'm curious about these at-home COVID tests that we're going to be sent through the mail.
You guys, why does the U.S. government always want to launch their shit during Mercury retrograde? You guys stop doing this.
Because they want to show us that they're doing something.
You know what? I'm not going to give Ronald Reagan a lot of daps a lot of times, but I do believe that Nancy Reagan had an astrologer in the White House. And to be honest, they need that. They need it.
You know,
Reagan got a second term. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but he was an actor.
True.
He probably made his way through. Go ahead.
So, no, yeah, that's, Mercury and its retrograde transit into Capricorn. So.
And still Venus is there. So I would say that the sun has moved into Aquarius. So that has lightened up the energy just a bit. But it's just time. Still take your time. Relax. Venus will go direct at the end of this week. We will have a Thursday live about that. So that's going to lighten it up. But mostly by Valentine's Day, all the plans that you're making right now, that's a good time to work through them. And we have hit the last quarter moon, and that allows us to really evaluate what happened between the full moon and what's going to happen in next week's new moon in Aquarius.
As you look back on the intentions you set at the beginning of Capricorn season, your long-term goals, especially now that the sun's in Aquarius, giving you unusual notions and weird ideas and an interesting perspective, really focus the next week or so on getting rid of anything that's not working. Like any of the, if you were trying to do too much, okay, what can go off of your plate? Going back, as Tanae talked about, the three of us working on this project, part of it has been admitting what we are capable of doing, what we can't do, what we can do more of, and everybody can benefit from doing that right now. It's a good time to just be honest about where you need help, get rid of stuff that's not working, and, start percolating on what the next
Yeah. I
moon
mean,
cycle is going to bring you.
we're moving through winter time, a good time to keep shedding, and then, we're gonna hit Pisces season after, kind of really the understanding of what we shed and rebirth, and then, we'll bring into spring. So again, now's a good time to really just take your time, go within. And yes, Valentine's Day will be pumped full of its opposite Leo energy, because the full moon will be in Leo around that time. So, that's the time to be expressive and generous with your heart. Right now, think about it.
Well, and the moon is in Libra. A very
Yeah.
good time to be balancing and weighing out
Yeah.
options, thinking
Yeah,
about
for sure.
what works, what doesn't, make a nice pro and con list and sit with that for a little bit and,
And
release
just,
the
yeah.
stuff you don't need.
And then just wait till Valentine's Day again to make any decisions. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
especially anything that has to do with your long term ambitions. Now is not the time to be spontaneous and just say, oh, I'm going to quit. Because, it's, if you don't have a long term plan, I'm not saying don't quit your job. If that's something that you want to do and you've been planning on it and you have other things behind it and other steps, sure, feel free to shoot your ambition some way. But if you just aren't quite sure, just be okay with that unquite sureness. There's things that have happened recently to me, and I'm just like, I'm just going to go with the flow, because it just feels a lot easier than fighting it. You can only control your responses to things. You can't control how things happen around you. So
Mm-hmm.
just,
Yeah,
don't
that's
don't
super
get
real.
too much in that Capricorn devil energy, though, where you kind of get attachment issues or fears or betrayals or anything like that. Like, try and stay away from that type of energy, because it's going to be really easy to get marred down in that with all the Capricorn in such close personal planets,
Mm-hmm.
that you're going to have to really fight to kind of find its balance. The Cancer energy and like a little bit of nurturing of yourself can go a long way during
Mm-hmm.
these Capricorn times.
Yeah, man, big, serious, just, woo, Saturn testing us all times. But it's okay. We're going to get through it. It's kind of like with all these retrogrades and the Capricorn energy pulling us in directions we don't necessarily want to be pulled into. It's kind of like when you get caught in a riptide. They say, like, don't fight it. Let the
Right.
riptide take you into the shore. And right now we're at the time where we're riding out the end of the riptide. The shore is coming
Yeah.
soon. We're going to be able to have some agency, do the things we want to do, feel that ourselves able to work with energy rather than
Yeah.
fighting against it soon.
And
But
be
we got a
weird and
couple more
fun.
weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be weird and fun, and just let your unicorn and freak flag freaking fly, because that's pretty much what Aquarius season is about.
That's right.
So I would say, enjoy that.
Mm-hmm.
What has changed for you from your full moon in Cancer till now?
Um, I have been able to ask for help when I needed it. That was a big thing. And I actually had done the horrible step of delaying an event that I was involved in planning and hosting until Mercury retrograde. And that happened today. And so it was wonderful. But it's off my plate is the bigger thing. And so yes, I felt very overwhelmed a little bit with emotions and things happening at the Cancer full moon. No surprise. And I
Not
feel
you.
my load lightening up. What about
Well,
you?
listen, I have just really tried to make sure that I am focused on the projects I need to be focused, and not allow my emotions to overrun everything. Because I have so many of them. If you know me, you know, but it doesn't seem like it. I don't really express them, but there are a ton. And I've
Aquarius.
exposing me. But I definitely like the ability to just like release whatever really like emotions I was feeling and crying about them, and then just like putting a practical plan into how I want to move forward. So the time has come to bring on our guest. I hope she's ready.
Yes. So Tanae is inviting into the chat our guest for tonight, and her name is Isabelle. Isabelle is an Aquarius sun, a Libra moon, and a Gemini rising.
All
She's
that
the
hair.
trifecta
Look at
of energy. Hello, Isabelle.
Hello. Good
Thank you
evening.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us.
Mhm.
All right, Tanae.
So Isabelle, we had a blast looking at your chart. So tell us what has been we're just going to dive right in.
Yeah.
What has been your greatest strength personally for you? Dang!
Yeah.
I
Okay.
said we was going to dive right in.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I think my greatest strength is being independent. I think that's the biggest thing for me. Coming from like a family of 5, you would expect me to sort of like latch on to that and stay within that area and not really move from that. But because I just so many things that happened in my past, I feel like being independent is one that I'm like really proud of, especially now in this season. It's really come out. So that's my final answer.
We love it.
Yes.
Okay, so what has been your greatest challenge professionally?
Great question. Hold on, let me pick from the list. I think professionally, I find it hard to have the will to do like a good job, if that makes sense. I think because of okay, well, being a woman, for one. For two, I think not going to college, that's been a big struggle as well. So, I mean, there's been a lot of struggles. I don't really know if I could pick one, but usually it's just the will to, like work super hard because it almost feels pointless in a way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Especially as a woman. Like that's a really big thing. I worked in the tech industry for 3 years and it was hell. Yeah.
Love that honesty.
Cassie's face.
Yeah.
Love that honesty.
Yeah.
So I do the independence that you brought up, that is straight away Aquarius energy all day. That is like, I got this. It's cool that y'all are there, but I still got this. And you do have a lot of 10th house energy, which does rule your ambitions. And so you've actually been quite successful early on. And I don't think that you needed college to do that. Cassie?
No, not surprising at all that an Aquarius Sun and Mercury would come to their ambitions in a non-traditional way also. I think college is great. I enjoyed my college experience, but also, I've got a couple of kids, and if they tell me they want to take a gap year and then they don't ever go to college, I mean, do you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not for everybody, and it's unrealistic to expect anyone, frankly, in their entirety of their 20s to know what the fuck they want to do or who they want
Yeah,
to be. I think it's
100%.
just not realistic.
No.
And
It's definitely for figuring shit out and fucking up. Like that's literally what your 20s are for.
But your chart suggests that a bulk of your energy is going to be spent on your presentation in the professional world and in the public eye. Like you have a lot of your Sun and Mercury are both in your 10th house in Aquarius. And then you also have Jupiter and Mars in the 10th house, but in Pisces. And so you have this uncanny ability to sway people and connect to people verbally and with language, but also understand on an almost psychic level what they want emotionally.
100%.
When you
I'm staring at my boyfriend as you said that.
And when you said that about will, I found that very interesting too, because the planet in your chart that would rule like your willpower would be Mars, and yours is placed in a challenging sign, frankly, of Pisces, because Pisces energy is just not willful in the way that Mars wants to be. Pisces is mutable water. Pisces is the final sign of the zodiac. They're known for being psychic, spiritual, being imprinted upon heavily by the people, by any situation, the people around them, their environment. I mean, they're just extremely receptive people. And Mars doesn't want to be receptive. Mars wants to be active. And so for you, it kind of manifests as an ability to have like psychic energy almost over people, which can be great, especially if you want to be in the public eye, and especially if you find something that you're a higher purpose that you can be attuned to, a way to put your public persona out there for a cause or a purpose that means something to you, will bring you like great success in life.
Absolutely.
Totally.
Absolutely.
If I can interject really
absolutely.
quickly. Is that okay?
We want this to be a conversation, yeah.
I don't want to like, step on toes here, but yeah, totally. I just like have always had this my boyfriend's dancing in the background. I'm so sorry. ADHD is on another level in this household. Just bear with us. But I've always had this like crazy ability to just like really read the room. And man, I could go on about stories, but just like specifically, I just like have always had this ability to just like read people's like maybe aura. I don't know if that's the correct word. I'm not really smart. But right.
And we know that's not true. First
that
of
was
all,
a joke,
we've
everybody.
all looked at your chart.
She was kidding.
We know that's not true.
But seriously, I mean, it's like friends from childhood, like who completely ruined our friendship. Like I've completely cut off, and then they come back in my life, or like relationships, and it's like you can just really read someone. And I always said like I was never book smart in school, which is why I didn't go to college. Also, my mom's in the chat. What's up, girl? Mama! But I was never book smart. I was always just like common sense. I had like this like fifth sense, just of like major common sense, and I was like, nobody else was like me. And then I met Everett. So
yay.
That's sweet.
And also you just have a combination of just charming energy where people are just drawn to you, especially with your Gemini rising. Like people are like, oh, she's interesting, I want to talk to her, even if you don't want to talk to them. Don't then,
I know, I'm rolling my eyes at my mom in the comments, please.
We
love moms on this show.
Yes, please. My mom would be
moms.
joining, but she can't stay out past
asleep,
10:45.
Right?
Mom's probably at the club. Who knows?
Yes, live it up. But also, you have a very fortunate placement for Jupiter, as Cassie was talking about, within the 10th house. But you have it in Pisces, and it's exalted in Pisces, or I think so. Right, because it's naturally in Sagittarius, but it's really, it's like a higher octave in Pisces. And Jupiter has actually moved into Pisces right now. So this is just a really beneficial time for you, and a lucky time for you, I would say, in pursuing the career that you want and really getting ahead in career. You will always be successful and go after your ambitions. That's just where you're like, that's how your chart is. That's just the energy you give off, is like, I want to be a success. I want to do this. I'm going to do this. This is like these. So that's just really where the energy goes. So I would encourage you to embrace that, and then also tap into like your generous, humanitarian, compassionate energy, and combine all that in something that you really want to do.
So funny, because people my whole life are like, oh my gosh, start a YouTube channel, like do this, like something social, like you would be such a good like social media influencer. And I'm like, I'm so fucking boring. Holy shit. Like, what would I say? But You know, recently, like, I got diagnosed with PCOS, and I've always known that I've had something like that. And I've also been hella hairy my whole life, so that's something I could talk about. But like, that is like something that when I bring like a humanitarian level, like some sort of like humility to social media is what I would want to do, not just like, hey guys, like welcome to my blog. I don't want to do that. I want to do like exactly what you're saying, like something that's more impactful. I have a blog where I write, and people will always message me and be like, "Oh my gosh, this like helped me so much." And I'm just like writing this shit for myself. I'm like talking shit about people, like talking shit about my exes, talking about how they suck, and yeah, um,
You just never know, though, how your story, your words, and your truth will help somebody. And I know
yeah,
for me, this is why I'm doing this show.
yeah,
Cassie's been one of my dearest friends, but it's always like to get to know people on a real level and to be able to like share our stories because you just never know. So, however that manifests, take your time right now and plan it
yeah.
out. But like, we had you on our show first, so that's all that matters. Nobody else
You heard it here first.
up there. So I want to just talk to you really quickly about karmic paths and soul energy. And so a brief like synopsis is a karmic path is your soul is born into this lifetime, and whenever you take a breath, the stars take a snapshot, and that's every type of energy that's embedded in your soul. And we all come here, our soul in some type of energy, and then we head towards the opposite in order to reach that path. So you come into this world with a very Piscean energy, which is probably easy for you with all that Jupiter energy and the Mars energy to kind of be intuitive. It probably makes you even more intuitive with other people and psychic. But your goal is to head towards Virgo, which is completely different. It is very much about structures and systems and being organized and taking your time.
Eek. Yeah.
She says eek.
First of all, Virgo, eek. Second of all, structure. Ugh. Yeah.
So that will
Thankfully,
be that's going to be a challenge. I mean, that's really where your challenge is. You have a lot of
yeah.
energy at the top of your chart in the 10,000. It's really easy for you to do that. Your challenge is going to be finding organization and structure to achieve what you really actually want to achieve.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Go
Yeah.
ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was going to ask you a couple of my questions. It's interesting because I wrote these questions for you based on your looking at your chart, and we've
Okay.
already talked about a couple of them a little bit. But one is, what role do words play in your life?
They hurt. No.
Mm.
Oh my gosh, words. Oh my gosh. Okay, you want to get real deep?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I
What were you gonna
do.
Always.
say?
This is the show, girl.
I was going to say, I mean, you mentioned you write a blog, so clearly you
Yeah.
connect to language in that fundamental way.
Yeah. So I think I find it really hard to, especially with like raging ADHD, but I find it really hard to form like complete thoughts when I'm like angry or like just overly emotional.
Hmm.
So, and that's just like a common theme in my whole life. I think growing up with my parents, my dad would say like the worst thing possible to me to like make me shut up. And then I realized that that was what worked, and I thought that was maybe the way to counter argue, if that makes sense.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
But once I got older, more independent, I realized that like I need to speak or I need to think before I speak,
Mm.
which is, like very elementary, but it is seriously so important. But yeah, words are big for me. I think, yeah, writing blogs, but also, yeah, the words that have been like kind of imprinted on my heart from even like my childhood are still very much there. A
Hmm.
lot of like the trauma that I have is affiliated with words. Less physical, more verbal. So
Yeah, and those and
that's
yeah, words don't go away. Like you
mm,
remember what people say.
yeah.
Well, and especially if you are a 7 planet or 5 planet air sign person, meaning plus you're an air sign rising, I mean, your currency are words.
Yeah.
And this
Mm,
was going to be my advice to you, looking at your chart and all of this air energy. And I think about my air sign friends, and I was also thinking about this with respect to your Libra moon, because I think for air signs in general, conflict is very hard. A lot of their energy is geared toward, I mean, the Gemini and Aquarius energy in you likes to test people a little bit
I
and
was gonna say conflict's
see if
hard. You should ask my
they'll
boyfriend.
and see how they'll respond. But the Libra moon part of you, like the genuine discord between you and people you love is like not a space you like to operate in. You like things to be on an even keel. And with that Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy in your chart, all that air sign energy, you take people at their word, and you spend a great deal of time thinking about the words you're going to say to people and and I would encourage you to not adapt your truth to try and be perceived better, because you can't control how people receive your words. That's something, as a writer, I'm a very water heavy, like we have similar charts, except mine's all water sign energy and not air sign energy. So I'm super emotional, but I have all my energies in the third house. And so I write emotionally, and I connect with people by putting my emotions into words. And air signs kind of do the opposite thing, where they're trying to show their emotions with their words. And that's the only way that they can operate. But other people don't necessarily do that. And so other people might not pay attention to your words because they vibe in a psychic way or in a physical way or in an emotional way. And so you just have to make sure you walk in your truth.
Absolutely.
And how other people receive it, you can't control, but you know that you have at least given them your truth to do with what they will. You know what I mean? Like, and it's hard. It's conflict is difficult for everyone, but it is also necessary. And you know, a big lesson for that Virgo North Node placement of yours too is also just boundaries and knowing when and how to maintain your own boundaries. And being, you know, air signs all need to work, especially like a Libra moon, really need to work on knowing who they are. Aquarius Sun can get lost in their cause, in their future, the group, like they want to make sure everybody in humanity is okay. Well, you can't really do that fully. It's a tall order, you know what I mean? And then the Gemini rising won't sit still long enough to even contemplate
That's
like
that ADHD.
who they are. We keep referring to that. I mean, that's very Gemini rising energy. And then the Libra moon wants to be in a coupled up situation, but your best couplings are going to happen when you know yourself very well, and you're always willing to walk in your truth.
I would say, as an older Aquarius.
Stop acting like you're a dinosaur. It's not true.
She's a 15-year-old boy trapped in a lady's body.
True.
Say your age.
More than 35. I would say the better my life got was when I continued to stand in truly who I was, and was never afraid to not be myself, because I knew that was my truth, and I didn't need anybody else to confirm that truth for me, because it's not theirs. And like Cassie said, you know, you don't have to worry about how other people perceive you, because their perception doesn't mean it's reality. It just means that's how they're perceiving you. And a lot of that is their reflection on how they feel about themselves, and has nothing to do with you. So I would say that I would like to give you a couple little notes about your North Node. The one is that there's a crystal and gemstone that is good for your North Node, and it is called jade.
Ooh,
so if
I
you
love
find
jade.
a cute piece of jade, and it is a multidimensional stone infused with the knowledge of many realms. This mineral guides the soul to manifest, function, and find meaning on the earth's plane. So I think it will help you, again, get grounded, because you are up in the clouds. I'm with you, girl. I know, but
I'm up there.
If anybody is up there, me and you up there together, but you know.
But my air sign's making me float a little more. I'm like pretty high up there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I would encourage some meditation, because I don't know how you quiet your mind.
Um, hmm, Great question. I think quieting my mind is usually just distraction. Meditation is something that I needed to do. Like I've needed, what am I trying to say? Something that I have needed have okay, whatever. I've needed to do it. I need to do it, and I don't do it. And Yeah, it's something that is super big that my boyfriend and I have talked about because I struggled with like I do struggle with really bad anxiety, but it got really bad before I moved to Atlanta. So yeah, I need to get back on that. But CBD oil is my crutch,
Hey,
my
we
crutch.
support that.
Mm-hmm.
I would encourage you to find that. And then there's a suggestion for your path, and it says, think of information as a tool. Realize that decision making is about putting all the considerations into perspective. Don't feel overwhelmed. Get organized. Take one step at a time. So I think that can kind of go with anything that you're trying to achieve is really try not to get overwhelmed, take one step at a time, and get organized. And for your air sign energy, it is necessary because you probably have constant ideas, thoughts, and everything, and it's all 1,000 open tabs in your brain.
Mm.
And there's
More
no
than
way.
that, but yeah,
I was just 1,000 dot dot dot.
yeah.
But you know, more than anything, learning how to like focus a little bit of that energy because you know you're always gonna come up with ideas and thoughts, and I mean that's how you express life is
Hmm.
always mentally, and so learning to ground the ones that are important for you are helpful.
Yeah.
So we have picked up a game that we're gonna play with you.
Okay.
And it's called it's okay. So it's called Blame It on Your Big Three, and Cassie's gonna explain to you how we're gonna play it.
Okay.
Yes. So we're gonna read
I
a
blame
character.
Libra. Sorry.
Honestly, fair. Honestly, fair.
Yeah, fair.
We're gonna read a characteristic, and you tell us if you can blame it on your Aquarius Sun, your Libra Moon, or your Gemini rising. So we'll let Tanae take the first three.
All right.
Okay. So first, the need for partnership to feel fulfilled.
It could be. It could. Okay. I want to say the first one that comes to mind is Libra. Just because I have a Libra best friend. But it also could be Gemini because Geminis can't even be with themselves because they're. I don't know.
Look at her, she coming for
You
y'all.
ain't ever lied about
Nope.
that.
True. But we like your Libra Moon as
Yes.
the answer. That's
Your Libra
definitely-
Moon
Yeah.
is our answer to that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
You want to go to the next question?
Oh, okay. The ability to be 1,000 different people in 1,000 different situations.
I also. Well, you know what? No, I'm going to say Aquarius because Gemini, while they're two-faced, I feel like that's the only two personalities that they contain. So I'm going to say Aquarius, but whatever you
We
guys
love
choose.
you, by the way.
Yes. Gemini, we love the Geminis too, but they get a lot of shit from both Tanae and I as well. So, we blamed that on your Gemini rising, though.
Okay.
Though I understand your reasoning for that as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally see that. Okay.
Okay. Wanting to talk to every new person in the room.
I think. Ugh. Definitely not Gemini. I'm just gonna give a lot of shit to Geminis. I dated one before this Aries.
Oh.
He's great. Nice guy. I would say maybe Aquarius. I don't know. Ew. Maybe I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
My answer is I don't know.
Okay, we kind of put it on your Gemini risings because those are naturally people that kind of go out and like talk, but you know,
Makes sense.
Bop between conversations.
like they're able to kind of just like talk to people and be like, oh, da 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 da.
But they're so like disingenuous. So I just am like, I don't. I know exactly what you're talking about. I see like the customer service front coming out, but that's it. That's the only vibe I'm getting. As far as like Aquarius, I'm thinking of like how interested I am in like people's like brains and like how weird people are. And that's what I'm thinking. But yeah,
Always.
that makes sense.
We appreciate, no, I like
That is fair. And I
Yeah.
like that too. And I think that Geminis at their best are genuinely interested in those conversations. It's just that they're not genuinely interested in getting very deep. And it doesn't mean that they're necessarily shallow. It just means they're not really here for that. But the Aquarius Sun and Mercury for you means the bar for conversation is pretty high. You want it to be a serious and intellectually stimulating conversation. Otherwise, what are we even doing here?
Yeah.
So
why are you talking to me?
Right.
Why are you breathing my air?
Yeah.
Okay. So controlling aesthetics when other things feel out of control.
Oh my God. So I
You have
want
a
to
1
say
in 3 chance.
I know, right? Oh my God, math is freaking hard. I would say I'm gonna just give you reasons because
Sure.
I'm not decisive, and I don't know. You can tell me what that is, but I don't know what that is. But I would say Aquarius because Aquarius is like, I feel like for me, like when one aesthetic is not working, I heavily focus on another one or something like that. But also Libra because they're all over the place. I don't really know. They're like very focused on being someone in a certain aesthetic. Does that make sense? Like they're very focused.
That's a perfect
We blamed
example.
it on your Libra moon.
We definitely
That's good. Now that see what I'm talking about, I need to talk about it to know the answer. But that makes so much sense. They definitely like morph and change into many different people around other people. Without saying any more.
Yeah, to fit the aesthetic. No, it's respect. Okay, being the quirky one at formal gatherings.
Aquarius.
Yeah. Yes. All day. You better, girl.
She didn't even question it.
I mean, you saw me at the wedding with my short little dress. I was like,
girl, we was having fun at that wedding, girl. Living our best Aquarius life. That was actually the first time Isabelle and I met in person. That was pretty cool.
It was fun.
We'd be seeing each other on squares like this for a while. But yeah. Well, do you have any other?
One more.
Yes.
I have one more. Yes.
Get it.
Oh my gosh.
Being a futuristic tech geek. This is the last one.
Aquarius.
Yes. Yes. And congratulations, you win. There are no winners or losers in this game, so you win.
I did get the biggest nerd award at work, didn't I?
That's perfect. Of course you did.
So there you go.
We knew it was coming. Do you have any questions for us before we get you out of here and finish everything?
I have one question.
Ooh, we are ready. We don't even know what it is.
And it's, what do you feel about Mr. Aries?
So we talked about best Aquarius love matches on our last episode, which I will cut into a short and put it on the YouTube, but you can also watch the full episode. Any of you can in the chat. Go subscribe.
Let's go
anyway, but traditionally Aries is thought of as being a very good match for Aquarius. I would say generally a fire sign is pretty good for Aquarius. Very good for Aquarius. Sagittarius was one of my top picks, and as I was debating my list, I was torn between that and Aries as my fire sign
Aquarius?
picks. Yes, for Aquarius.
Yes. Okay.
Because
everybody has to. Yeah, go ahead.
Fire and air feed off of each other, right? So Aquariuses are a fixed sign, so they can get stuck, and so a fiery personality can get them moving again. In those times of life when they feel
especially a lighting bomb like an Aries, or a lit dynamite stick, flame, whatever you want to call it. That type of Aries energy, and then also with your Libra moon, it helps a lot. I mean, I honestly, do you know what Everett's moon is?
Everett.
Oh, sorry, I just blasted his name.
No, he brought it up. Give it to me. Also. He's an emotional firework. That's what we call it.
Tell me he has a Pisces moon and I will fall out of my chair.
No.
Oh, okay. What is it?
You're not ready. Aries, Scorpio moon.
Oh my God, what is that?
And Pisces rising.
Oh.
Who
Well,
knows if this shit's correct though, because did you know what time you were born?
The
Or
more
did
is
you just enter a
likely
random date?
correct.
Did you ever? Oh, he's typing into the chat and not talking to me.
Aries is like, no, I'm gonna say it first.
I want to make
Honestly, that's actually not. I'm like 30 seconds behind.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you, Everett. We appreciate your input.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's Scorpio moon is not the easiest placement for a moon because it's super, super deep. 419. Thank you, sir.
It says 420 in here, by the way.
Hey, we like that too. I think that that's actually a really good match. A Scorpio moon needs some deep understanding and is quite possessive sometimes. And you being a Libra moon that likes a partnership, I mean, it doesn't.
Libra
feel
likes to
possessive.
be possessed.
Yeah, and you also have some
100%.
you also have some Venus in the 8th house, so I'm sure that helps too. So, you know, I think you have found a great match, and I think that's amazing. We would love to have Everett come on the show so we could talk about his chart.
Oh my God,
Yes.
100%. Everett knows nothing about this.
We love to
Let us read your life.
Everett's about to stick his head
behind, so it's hard.
It's 30 seconds behind, so you can't
so
say.
I'm still listening to.
Oh,
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah,
Yes,
maybe later you can
Yes.
come on. But
Perfect.
yeah, I would say what?
We can totally talk about it.
No, okay. See you later. Walk away now.
It's that Aries. He's like, no, listen to me. I'm first.
No, he's literally 30 seconds behind. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, what?
Yeah, it's okay. We love you, Aries. We love you. I think your mom said wants to do the old. Is that your mom, Jay With? Is that her?
Yes.
Oh, well, your mama wants to come on. You let her know.
Oh my gosh.
We don't.
Wait.
We don't talk about. Nobody is old on here. People are just wisdom and mature.
She's a Leo, though.
Yes, we love Leos on here. We've had Leo before. We need to. We
Wait,
want to give them
wait.
their ego and attention.
My mom and dad, one's a Leo, one's an Aquarius. Why do you think they're divorced? Pop quiz.
Because the Aquarius is a dick.
Little bit. I'd say something worse, but
well, I mean, I just think that the Leo needed more attention than the Aquarius was willing to give.
Oh my God, my mom will cry if you did this first.
And that, you know, like the Leo was never really acknowledged or heard, and the Aquarius maybe was never understood, but he didn't really want to be understood.
There's nothing to understand.
We could go on and on. Let's just, okay, we love you, Isabelle. Thank you so much for being on the show.
For coming here and talking to us.
We appreciate you. Go follow. Tell all your friends about it. Tell your mom.
Anything you want to plug.
She knows how to get us. Yeah.
Yeah,
you want to plug
channel, anything you want to plug?
Will do. And then also Everett will 1000% be on because I'm going to force him.
Tune in for the sequel.
Yeah, the sequel, the partner sequel. And I'm going to be standing right behind him telling him what to do, like with like cards, like, don't say that shit. Anyways, thank you guys.
Thank you.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
I'll see
you.
Bye. Oh my goodness. That was amazing. Thank you so much to Isabelle for coming on.
Much fun.
You guys, relationship astrology is like our thing. We love talking about people's relationships, their freaking family relationships. We are so interested to explore that stuff with folks. So the more questions you have like that, the better. Please put them in the chat. Talk to us about them. We love it. Speaking of, we have an audience question at least. Anybody else, please drop them in the chat. This one is from Dan the Hairman Official. From episode 1, you all remember?
That's that Leo.
Any advice for Leo to get along better with an Aquarius when it comes to disagreements, or maybe insight into their thought process? It's so interesting that we just talked about this exact same combination. But yeah, so Leos really have a soul need to be seen, heard, and acknowledged. And really, they need praise too. They do. And it's not that they want to need it. They just need it. They need to be acknowledged. And it's hard for an Aquarius because they don't like ego stroke. They don't like to stroke egos, really. I mean, they will for the, right person, but they're very analytical and logical, and they're working with their mind's energy and not always their hearts. So, Tanae, are you disappearing from the chat?
I just, I can't disagree with you.
What do you think?
I'm coming back. Okay, so I would highly agree with Cassie, but what I would say as an advice to make it work is just have an honest, open conversation with the Aquarius and just say, this is bothering me. Stop. Or I mean, don't necessarily say that, but just really bring it, because quite honestly, the Aquarius might not be aware that it's bothering you if you haven't openly expressed it. Like, they're not really ones for like subtle things. Like, you just got to tell them. And Aquariuses don't intentionally go around like trying to make people feel bad. And they also live in their heads a lot. And so that if there is an issue, they may have overthunk it over and over and over and over again. To the point where like they've made their own conclusions and be like, oh, they feel this way about me. And then there's no real conversation about it. So just have a very honest conversation. I mean, this is really,
it's true. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It happened.
So if you don't have a conversation with an Aquarius about it, they will have a conversation in their own head with you and decide it's been settled or not, and keep moving with that as the decision. And so right. Make the effort, if you are dealing with an Aquarius, to say something to them directly, because they are especially at their best, they're receptive to your words. They are, and they
truthfulness and honesty.
Yeah, and they want to have a conversation with you. They want to have a serious conversation. Again, at their best, they can be unapproachable at their worst. But
if if you have a intimate relationship with them or some sort of friendship with them, they would rather you approach them.
Yes, for sure.
They're not going to be as cold and detached, say, if you were maybe a coworker or just an acquaintance. Their care might be less. But if it's somebody that's important to you, I feel this with any relationships, honestly, even though I'm not the best at it, that you just, in any relationship that you're close to, like, have that conversation with that person, and at least you guys have the conversation, and honestly go into it like what you need, and really understand, like, this may or may not happen, but as long as you get it out in the open. I do want to snag this quick question. Leos are even attracted to Aquarius the same reason Aquarius are attracted to Leos. Like, it's nature. It's your opposite. It's something you see in that other person that you're like, huh. It's an attraction of opposites, and sometimes it's great. Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher, great representation. Sometimes it's not. Clearly, Isabelle spoke about our parents, so we'll just take them as an example. But overall, like we've always said, each person needs to be vibrating highly. So if you're not, no matter what sign you are, it's going to suck. So
that is, but, and if you are tuning in and didn't watch our Sister Signs episode, but Leos being attracted to Aquarius is because Leos do sit opposite Aquarius in the Zodiac. It's truly the example of opposites attracting, and every sign has a dynamic relationship with its sister sign. I found myself entangled with Capricorns throughout my early life. And
yes, she used the word entangled, y'all.
And I'm a Cancer, they're my opposite. There's something to that. They, you share with your opposite sign a kind of fundamental similarity, the quality and your duality, or your modality and your duality. And for Leo and Aquarius, they're both fixed. They both know how to see something through and accomplish something. Although Leos can be more, I think Leos in general, it can be more concrete in that, simply because air signs live in the realm of ideas. And it's just is accomplished in their brain is not necessarily translated to something here on earth. But they do have a way of working straight through their energy. But Leos and fire signs approach everything with passion and action, and air signs approach everything with rationality and logic. And so another thing I would say to our first questioner, advice to a Leo who's trying to deal with an Aquarius, is knowing that as a Leo, you need some positive reinforcement to feel at ease in an interpersonal relationship. Look for ways that the Aquarius might be giving you positive reinforcement that don't necessarily feel like how it normally feels to you, right? Like, so I think most of us feel like, wow, like you did a great job. Thank you so much for doing that is positive reinforcement, and it is. But an Aquarius might say something like, hey, that's a really logical way to organize that. And they might never say like, good job or thank you. But the fact that they noticed that you did that is actually their way of paying you a high compliment. I mean, any time they give you a comment that suggests you are smart, or
Yeah.
like that,
They've taken notice of your intelligence.
Yeah, that is the highest praise you're probably going to get from them. Unless you have an Aquarius who's a little more tuned into social graces in that way, but they're not known for that. Like, and you know, depending on their moon placement too, that could really make their energy even.
Yeah. If they give you,
if
they see everything and pay attention to everything, so if they give you any sort of compliment, it matters. Otherwise, they won't say anything to you at all.
Yeah.
So
they can be tough to draw out.
We are about to wrap this up. We want to thank Isabelle. Girl, we loved all of your air sign 10th house energy. We love that you're going to force your boyfriend on the show because, yes, we need more males. And we want to thank everybody that follows all of our social media. Every time, if you don't get to catch it now, please go on YouTube. Always, you can slide into our DMs. If you want to be on the show, please don't hesitate. Email us at the Zodiac Chatline at gmail.com, and we will respond accordingly and let you know. We have open spaces forever. So please, we want it. So before
thank you to Dan the Hairman Official and Jay with 5 for your questions. Dan's already been on the show, but Mama, we see you, girl. Come on the show, baby.
Yes, Isabelle's mom, we want you on the show. We're gonna say it. She's probably gonna hate us for it, but we don't care.
Yes. So Tanae,
ready?
Play us out with a card.
Girl, y'all already know we got to come through because it's Aquarius season, and because I love being an Aquarius and I love being a what? African goddess. You're going to pull one of these cards because I love these. So this is to get the rest of your week. We hope to see everybody again on Thursday at 10 p.m. We will do another live. I believe it's going to be on Venus Direct and maybe some moon signs. So join in. Everybody can feel included. We all need Venus to go direct because life wouldn't be better if it didn't.
We got to get a haircut sometime. I scheduled mine for Saturday. Venus goes direct on Friday, and I'm like, yep.
I tried to schedule mine for next Wednesday, you know, so I can have a fresh cut for my birthday. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully she'll respond. She doesn't watch these, but I know she follows us. So, girl, respond to my text message. Okay, so I know I'm talking smack. Okay, we have, it's called Mawa Lisa Cosmic Power. This is the card. Boop.
Ooh, yes.
I love how the sun and the moon are in there, kind of like, you know.
Yes, golden goddess.
All right, yes. Energy. This is the goddess of what? Cosmic power from Benin. The temple is the threshold guardians, and the element is air. Mawu Lisa,
of course an air goddess shows up on tonight's episode. Of course. Go on, sorry.
Mawu Lisa is the force of the mother, father, god, goddess. Mawu is the moon, the divine feminine. Lisa is the sun, the divine masculine. They came together during a fawn eclipse to create cosmic power. the guidance. You are in the right place. Release the fear of your power. You are sacred. You are magic. Now that you know this, you can no longer pretend not to. The embodiment. Rise up into your magnificence. Love and accept yourself fully to unlock everything you seek. Stop pretending to be less than you are. Your real power has nothing to do with external gains. Cosmic power cannot be destroyed or lost. You were created by the same force that birthed the sun and the moon. The goddess declaration is my power shines forth from within.
Ooh,
I know.
yes.
So we are living for our cosmic power. This last quarter moon going into the new moon next week in Aquarius. We are living for this sun in Aquarius and just relaxing through the rest of this Capricorn energy. It will be fine. We are going to make it because that's what we do.
Fill your cup with the cosmic power.
Yes.
Just let it sit there. Just
Yes.
stew in your body.
Yes. Ooh, I love stew in your body. That sounds good. Maybe like in a bath or something. Stew, a bath stew. Yeah, you know. Again, nurture, pamper, do all that fun stuff.
That's right.
So, you ready? This was fun. This was cute.
This was a great episode, y'all. Thank you so much. Hit us up. Find us all the social places. We'll see you in the chat.
It's all up. Peace.